Right, back again in Easy Red 2. I'm still considering this a comfy game. And we are the French. And I'm curious for a moment here what the French are armed with. Because this is, holy shit, we are in French uniforms? And we're using French guns. Damn, I thought the French would have been... What, this is 43? No, Monte Cassino was 44. Fairly certain. I thought we would have been re-equipped with frickin' American and Brit equipment by now. But I've got a... This is a Châtellerault model 24-29 light machine gun. So I'm genuinely quite surprised that we've even got this. Right. Right, so yeah, it's a Châtellerault 24-29 light machine gun. It has a 25 round vertical box magazine, 2 triggers, one for single shot and one for fully automatic. No quick change barrel. It's considered good. It wasn't bad. It had that French problem. Now the French have an interesting problem when it comes to their firearms. They are early adopters, cursors. So they adopted the 1886 Lebel, which was the first smokeless powder bolt action rifle. But they adopted it a bit too early, so it was kind of shit for the being early adopter syndrome. It still uses things like the tubular magazine system, whereas later things went to the staggered, flash box magazine. Get in the fucking trench, now I can continue my history lesson. It uses, what are you armed with? You're an 1886 Lebel, so he's exactly what I'm talking about, that dude. You've got a British P14, but this dude here with the scope version. It was used a outdated cartridge, which was essentially a black powder 11mm cartridge necked down to 8mm. And it had rimmed ammo. It was just out of date, really, within a few, years of it being adopted. But anyway, back to the Châtellerault. The thing I'm mentioning with it is it had the same issue. The Châtellerault was adopted in 1924, so it was actually before the ZB26, which ended up becoming the ZB30, which ended up becoming the Bren gun. So it had a few little things that later light machine guns of its same ilk would have. And the main one of those is it doesn't have a quick change barrel. The French gun does not have a quick change barrel, and the bipod's not the greatest. The offset sights are alright. The 2 triggers, I understand why, because the Italians did it with like the Beretta 38 and stuff, but it's just, yeah, sadly, the Châtellerault light machine gun is just not as refined as later box-fed light machine guns would be. So it's just a little bit out of date in that regard. It's not a bad gun at all. It's just that classic French thing of adopting something too early before you can really perfect the design to what it should be. They had the same little problem, in fact, with the semi-automatic rifle they developed after the war, which was the Mas 44, which ended up becoming the Mas 49. Good pre-war rifle, but after World War II and everyone moved to intermediate cartridges, it was a little bit out of date because it was a full power semi-automatic rifle. Damn it, I got Augustine killed. 1900 to 1944. Dude was 44 years old and he was still serving in the front line. What a lad. But yes, as I was saying, so it was just a little bit of a... Yeah, it was just not as refined as it could have been. And that was a real big French problem. They kept adopting firearms, and then something a little bit better would come out and supplant it. So yeah, the Mas 49, which became the Mas 49-56, was a 10-round magazine, semi-automatic, full-power battle rifle in an age where everyone else was moving to select fire, intermediate cartridge, 30 round box magazine, or 20 or 30 round box magazines. So it was just out of date. But what I'm currently using, I believe, is a British P14 or Pattern 1914 rifle. Another little bit of history behind this. They originally were going to use this to replace the Lee Enfield because during the First Boer War, when the Brits fought the South African rebels, the Boers, they were using German Mauser rifles, which had better accuracy and better range than the Enfield. So the Brits went, oh, we want that instead. Are you dead? You were a German, so that was fine. Yeah, so the Brits went, oh, we want that instead, and we want a new cartridge, because our cartridge isn't really that good. So they experimented with the 276 round, and adopted a Mauser-style rifle, the P13, to basically replace the Enfield. But then World War I started, and as anyone with half a brain, looking at Italy, Germany, and fucking Japan in the Second World War, should know, you don't go adopting a new rifle and a new cartridge in the middle of a war. So the Brits basically scrapped the idea for the new cartridge and the new rifle, but instead built the new rifle using the old cartridge. So they went back to 303 British and made the P14 rifle. Primarily it was manufactured in America by Remington, Eddystone and Winchester. And when the Americans joined the war, they needed a rifle for themselves because they didn't have enough 30-06 Springfield rifles. So what they did was they basically got the P14 and converted it into 30-06 Springfield. Which an interesting thing of the design is, by converting it to 30-06 Springfield, they actually managed to get one extra round in the magazine. So the P17, which is the American version, actually has a 6-round box magazine, whereas the American version, whereas the British version only has 5 rounds. So this is a British version because you've only got 5 rounds. See, this is a British version, so this is a P14. I must admit, the aperture sights, fucking magnificent. Like, you've been seeing how many kills I've been getting on distant Germans? That's because these aperture sights are really nice. They are crisp, they are refined, you can adjust them quite well. I can understand why some armies, went away from them, because they are complicated, and really, it's kind of, different merits of the different periods of war. But it makes sense, and it is a very nice, accurate, damn it. A really nice, accurate sight. Right. I've only got one Frenchman left in my squad that's still alive, and he's got a P14 as well. This is quite interesting, actually, because we're still in French uniforms. We must be Free French. But we're still in French uniforms, but we've got a mixture of French and British equipment. Now, you're armed with a fucking Thompson. So we've got a mixture of British, French, and American equipment. Whereas I fought by 44, the French were pretty much all re-equipped with American equipment. Maybe that's just my assumption, because I'll be honest, I don't really give the Free French in World War II that much of fucking attention, because they're French and fuck them. I mean, you look at the Vichy French and they were more cooperative with the Nazis than any other fucking occupied nation. I'm basically just only looking at enemy muzzle flashes here. I'm a little bit pinned down by that MG34 here. I'm not sure where to go. But yeah, the Vichy French were more cooperative with the Nazis than they like to admit. I mean, the last fucking SS unit to surrender in fucking Berlin in 45 was an SS French unit. So, oops. Ah, here we go. So we've got a 1886 Lebel, P14 rifles, and Thompsons. That's fascinating to me. Why am I in the middle of a fucking... Right, I need to really ask that question of why a fucking sniper was spawned in open ground. Also, I need to ask another question of these fucking French pricks. Why the fuck do their soldiers not have smoke grenades? The Americans and the Brits have got fucking smoke grenades, and I can use them to advance and move. But these fucking French don't. I've got frags, and that's it. Oh my gosh, I'm getting my ass pinned down by enemy fire here. No, crouch down, you idiot. Stupid idiot Frenchman. I've got an MG34 blazing overhead here, lads. Okay. I'm still alive, somehow. Right. But piss off, MG34 fire. Fuck off. I am the only idiot Frenchman from my squad who's managed to make it to this fucking bunker. And I've got incoming Germans. Incoming Germans, no grenades, and 3 magazines for an M1 Thompson. Not the best outcome here. Reload. Have I got 20 or 30 round mags? I've got 20 round mags. I suppose... yeah, I suppose that makes sense. But could we genuinely, please, get me some fucking reinforcements? I don't really think... Ooh, P40 Warhawks. Just as a side, so that's a 1924-29 light machine gun, Thompson. 24-29 light machine guns, P14s. So it really is just an eclectic mix of British, French, and German, if not German, and American equipment. I think of the weapons that these Frenchmen have got, probably the 24-29 light machine gun's the best. Good question. Oh my gosh, yes, the fucking support gunner has a smoke grenade. Great. So I can have at least some some covered advance. Although lugging one of these light machine guns around, although, yes, thank you. The fact that you can shoulder fire this light machine gun, because the French actually thought of that. Quite interesting, the 24-29 light machine gun, in the sense that it has a forward handguard, so you can essentially fire it from the shoulder. And as I said, I've watched, Ian McCullum fire it from the shoulder, and a few videos of people firing it from the shoulder. It looks uncomfortable, and it looks heavy as bollocks, but it does seem doable. Right, smoke. Get into the trench. Oh my gosh, that smoke grenade genuinely was the difference between me losing or not. I get into the enemy trench, and a fucking German scumbag with a fucking MP40 is waiting for me. I'm torn at the moment, lads, between wanting to win because, I'm the attacking, and hating my team because they're fucking French. Also, our fucking fighter support, I'm watching them, right up there, do fuck all. Like, a couple of good bombs would really do well here, but they seem to be more interested in chasing butterflies. Oh my gosh. Fucking worthless French bastards. Every one of them. Right. Oh shit. I've got a 28 Thompson with a straight fore end. No, it's a 28 A1 because it's got the simplified sights. But I've got a 50 round drum mag with it. That's quite interesting. I like it when you get sort of varied mismatched weaponry like this. It adds a little bit of life to the whole thing. Look, piss off, Germans. Where the fuck even are you? Look, German infantry. Fuck's sake. I can't advance because I get gunned down by fucking machine gunners. I cannot hold position because I have no ammunition to hold position with. And now I'm playing as I was for the 2 seconds because it spawned me in front of an enemy, with a French infantryman with a fucking 1886 Lebel. Right. I'm going to try and be a P40 Warhawk, and I'm going to see if I can try and provide some air support here. See if I can figure out where the enemy concentrations are and drop a couple of bombs. I'm down to my 306 machine guns, and I've got 1 bomb before I'd have to go back to the airfield. Shove off. And my own fucking bomb, because I was flying to... Damn it. This is not going well. And I'm 100% blaming the fact that I'm playing as the French. Right. I've got 50 caliber machine guns, I've got 306 machine guns, and I have 1 250 pound bomb. Look, BF-109, could you fuck off? I'm trying to provide ground support here. To be fair, P40 is probably not the best for ground support. I would think you would want a P-47 Thunderbolt with some bombs. Or some rockets, actually. God, some rockets would really do wonders here. Just breaking up these enemy infantry. Still, I'm gunning down a few Germans with some strafing runs, so we're not doing too bad on that front. Actually, the P-40, I think the New Zealand Air Force used quite a lot of P-40s as well, because we tended to get second-hand leftovers. We did have a bunch of Spitfires though, but a lot of it was sort of leftovers like Corsairs and Warhawks, which I think we called Kitty Hawks actually, rather than Warhawks. Okay, there's 2 109s on my ass here. Not the greatest thing in the world, but I seem to be outturning them. I actually do seem to be outturning them, which is good. Right. I hit them. Got a hit. I've got several hits on their fuselage. How are you not dead? You've had about 20 50 caliber rounds through you. Bloody hell, 109. There we go, I've blown his tail off. Okay, he's dead. And now I've got another 109 on my tail. How did you not destroy me then, 109? Seriously. You were on my tail and you have 20mm cannons. Hurry up and reload. I can understand now why my idiotic Air Force compatriots were not assisting, but were instead playing dogfighting the whole time when I was asking for air support. It's because there are too many 109s up here, and they are disrupting my idiotic Air Force compatriots' ability to provide dive bombing systems. Right, there's another 109 over there. Oh, we're on his tail. I got a squirt into his rear section. Nearly hit one of my own aircraft there. Great job. Okay, all three of us targeting this 109 is a nice idea. But we're going to hit each other if we keep doing this shit, so maybe one of us needs to back off. I'm going to go resupply and get some more bombs. And then if I die again, we'll replay as infantry. But I must say, we're really not making much headway. Alright, we've got another... Oh, it doesn't even look like a 250-pound bomb. It looks like a 100-pound bomb. Really dinky bomb. Right. Alright, we've got enemy buildings. Oh, that looks like an anti-tank gun. Because that is an anti-tank gun. Holy shit, did you see that? That was a fucking, like, carrier pilot executed dog bombing run. I hit that anti-tank gun with the 100-pound bomb. Beautiful work. Genuinely, like, that was like a carrier pilot level of dive bombing. It's actually interesting that dive bombing is definitely more effective than level bombing. Because every time any Air Force tried level bombing on ships or basically not strategic targets, but sort of like trying to precision bombing, that's the word, precision bombing, it doesn't work. Dive bombing is the only effective way to do precision bombing, unless you've got something... No, even things like mosquitoes and stuff like that would tend to favour dive bombing rather than coming in level. It's just more accurate. It's just a more accurate way of doing it. I hit where I wanted it to, but I think the enemy building sheltered most of that German squad. Alright, I think I might respawn as a Frenchman, you know, in a bit, and see if I can participate in the final ground assault. I wasn't even trying to crash there. Right, infantry fire team. So we'll go support gunner so I can get myself smoke grenades. See, I like the fact in third person they've modelled the uniforms and everything. I don't play in third person because who plays a shooting game in third person when you have an objectively less view, like less accurate view. Although, that's quite cool. The fact that they've modelled all that stuff is really impressive. Right, so we've got two enemy fortified buildings. It looks like second story roof. Second story, there's an MG machine gun. I think it's a 42. But it looks like there's just a lot of riflemen keeping our suppressing fire up against us. Right. First things first. Smoke. Alright, we've got smoke. Move in. Shit. Alright, we're pinned down behind this wall. Holy shit, there's a fucking German there. Fuck. Alright, there's another German behind that wall. Frag. Fucking frag grenade. Ooh. Oh, that German has a fucking Beretta 38 submachine gun. See, that's what I was talking about. It's a Beretta 38A. Ah, shit. There's another fucking German with a sub gun. Oh no, he had a 34. But I must admit, this, as I said, the Châtellerault is maneuverable enough that I can actually hip fire it and shoulder fire it to wipe out some of these bloody German squads. But I must admit, this is an aside. This French squad must be so fucking annoying to logistics. Because you've got someone with an 1886 Lebel. You've got someone with a Châtellerault 2429. You've got 2 people with 45 Thompsons. And about 5 people with 303 machine guns. 303 rifles. So you have to be supplying 1886... Shit, that bomb wounded my ass. We got a medic. Medic. Wait, what the fuck is this? Oh, this medic's got a, this medic has a 3006 Springfield. Okay, so now this idiot is supplying, right, come on, light machine gunner. We're gonna get you behind here. And then what I'm gonna do is, I do remember how you're supposed to perform first aid. Hold on. No. I've forgotten how you do first aid. I've genuinely forgotten how you perform first aid here. Damn it! Okay, I just got this infantryman killed because I forgot how... this works. Right. Well, what we're going to do is dump all our 3006 ammo. And we're going to pick up old mate's light machine gun. Have we got any spare... Oh, take some ammo. Take some bandages. Right. As I said, I like the fact... Oh, the fact we have the map. That's quite cool. I forgot I don't use it too often. But the fact that the inventory system is good enough that you can take your allies' weapons and equipment, just like in, you know, real life situation, does add that little bit of realism to it. Because you would, if your mate died, you would pick up his light machine gun, because it's more valuable than your shitty 3006 bolt action rifle. Oh, I'm surprised I am still alive there. But shit, this fucking Châtellerault light machine gun is good. It's probably not as good as a Bren or a ZB26, but it's not bad either. As I said, early adopters syndrome is the greatest problem with French firearms. Like, if you had a quick change barrel option to this Châtellerault, it would be quite good, because you could have more sustained fire. Because the actual practice of this thing was after 480 rounds, you were supposed to let the gun sit for 10 minutes to cool it down. Or it was 680 rounds if you were firing it in bursts. So it was sustained versus burst fire. But I don't mean to be rude, but in the middle of a firefight with a bunch of Germans, are you going to be stopping your light machine gun for 10 minutes while it cools down? You're probably not. You're probably going to say, my life is more valuable than this fucking gun, and I'm going to keep running it until it or I die. Which is why quick change barrels were definitely a superior option. I'm fairly convinced those are Frenchmen, so I'm not going to shoot at them. Right. Also, I do like the fact that I'm a medic who somehow ended up with a light machine gun. Oh, Germans. Right. We need to move into the village and take this, Oh, victory! Victory for the idiotic Frenchman. Well done.